So in this video we'll try something new and something different, and we'll try to make a text difference detector app using HTML, CSS and simple JavaScript. So stick with me to find out more. Hello and what's up guys, Medium Guy here. I hope you're having nice times and you'll learn new things. So in this video, by using HTML, CSS and simple JavaScript, we're going to create a text difference detector app. So we're going to have this text area with which we can submit our original text, and the app will detect the differences and highlight the differences. So I know this might be irrelevant to my previous videos, but time to time I'd like to make videos about my favorite language and try something new and different, so we could just have some fun. So without any delay, let's get down to work. So to get started, I have an HTML file in which I'll try to declare my markups and create my elements. And also I'll have a CSS file and a JS file which will be linked to this HTML file and will handle the interactions. So if you don't already know about HTML, CSS and JavaScript, I really recommend you try to learn it. So I'm going to hit exclamation mark. I'll hit tab to create my basic HTML elements. So I'll pass text detector app as the title of this. And I'll just go ahead and create a CSS and JS file and link them in here. So I'll create a new file, I'll call it app.js, another one styles.css, and in my HTML file I'll try to create a script element and point it to my app.js file that I just created, and another link tag in the header, which also I'll pass the styles file that I just created. So I always put the scripts at the end of the page so that the JS files, which might be big in size, would be loaded to the DOM after the site has been loaded. So I'll try to create some basic HTML elements and some basic CSS that won't be really so fancy, just to have some elements, some buttons, some inputs so that we can interact with the application. So I'm going to fast forward this part and I'm going to see you after I finish the HTML and CSS section. Welcome back. Here I have my markup ready and my really basic CSS loaded. I know that this does not look really that well and I really didn't expect myself to do better than this. So the next part is moving to the app.js file to implement our logic to detect the differences in the text that the user inputs. So basically how the app would work, the user would paste a text in here and submit his original text, and the text would be shown in here, and next the user would paste the copied text. The app would detect the differences and highlight the words. So moving to the app.js file, in here the first thing I'm going to grab my elements that are necessary, like for example one for clicking, one for inputting and getting the input data, and so on. So first I'm going to say const form is equal to document dot get element by id with the id of form that I defined in the HTML file. The next element would be result, would be equal to again document.getElement by id with the id of exactly result. Next thing, I'm going to change the indentation. I really don't like when it is set to 4, so I'll set it to 2 and I'll save my file. The next element I'm going to grab is the original text, so I'll say orig text equal to document.getElement by id of whatever I defined in the HTML file. So the next is the reset button is equal to document.getElement by id of reset, and the next is the percentage, which is equal to document.getElement by id of percentage. So that's all my elements that I need to make some interactions. So first of all, I need to make a function to set text of elements. So I'll say const set text, which is equal to a function with element and a text, which will set the elements dot inner HTML to the text that is passed as the parameter to this function. Also, I'll have a variable which will be the text that I grab from the input that the user types or pastes. So I'll set it to an empty string at the first, and also I'll make the second parameter default value to the text that I just defined in the up above. The next, I'm going to define the submit of the form, which includes the text area element. So I'll say form.onSubmit, which will be equal to a function which has event as the first parameter. The first thing I need to say event.prevent default. The next, I'm going to set the text variable as the original text, which is my text area, and I'll grab the value of that element. The next, I'll set the original text dot value to an empty string, and I'll set text of the result, and I won't be passing the second element because the default value would be the text. So in here I define the value of the text. So let's just go ahead and test this. Until now, if I save my file, move to the Chrome, I'll hit refresh. So whatever text that I copy in here, if I try to submit, in here I see that the exact same value is moved to the element with the ID of result. So apparently there is a mistake in here. So instead of result, I've passed reset in here. So I'll change it to result. Again, I'll move back and paste the text and I'll hit submit. I see in here that the element with the ID of result, which is a pre-tag, has been updated successfully. So the next thing, I need to have a function which I'd call detect differences, and in which I'll try to detect the differences of the text that the user has submitted and the other text that user has pasted in the text element section. So I'll say const detect differences will be equal to a function which won't have any parameters. So basically the thing I need to do in here is that I grab the text of the result element and also the text of the text area element, and supposing each word is separated by 2 spaces, I'll try to split the both texts with an space, and with the arrays that I have now, I'll try to map through the words and decide if the words with the exact indexes are same, so these texts are the same, and if not, a difference has been found. So I'll say const ot is equal to original text dot value dot split with a space, and the other array which I'll call r, which is equal to text dot split also with a space. So I have my both arrays. The next thing I'm going to say const final text is equal to array.map. It'll accept a function as a parameter, so each element would be a word and an index. So basically in here I'll try to return a span either with color green or red if the words do not match. So I'll try to say return, and in here I'll say strong with class of text dash something, and I'll pass the word as the value of the strong element, so say word. I'll try to close my strong element, and deciding if the words match here, I'll try to set the color. So if the word is equal to ot with the index of I, I'll try to pass success. If not, I'll try to pass danger. So this will return an array also because it is map function, so I'll try to join with a space. So the next thing, I'll try to set text of the result element and with the value of t that I just created up above. So in the onChange event of the text element, I'll try to call this function. So the next thing, I'll say orig text dot onKey up will be equal to a function which will try to detect the differences if any value exists in the text variable. So I'll say text and detect differences. So I'll save my file, I'll move to the Chrome, I'll hit refresh. In here I'll copy a text, I'll submit, and if I paste the same text again, I'll see that all the words are colored as green. So if I change the security to, like for example, another word, in here I see that the exact same word has been colored to red. Or for example, another word, I see that the functioning is working correctly. Also in here I'll try to detect the percentage of the differences of these texts. So the only thing I need to do is in here I'll say let correct will be equal to 0. Also I'll have an if statement in here which would have the exact same condition, and I'll say correct plus plus to increment the correct words by 1. So in here I'll try to set text of the percentage with the value of math.round correct divided by r.length multiplied by 100 plus a percentage string at the end. So if I save my file, come back in here, I'll try to copy paste some text, I'll submit again. In here I see that the texts match 100%. If I try to change a word, I see that the percentage is reduced successfully. Again, I'll try to change other words. I see that the functioning also working correctly. And also I have a reset button in here, which I expect when I click on it, I reset everything, every variable, every element to the initial values. So in here I say reset.onClick will be a function which will try to set the orange text dot value to an empty string, set text of the percentage to 0%. Also, I'll set the text to an empty string, and I'll say set text of the result, and I'll try to save my file. Come back to Chrome, I'll paste some text. Here I see that the functioning is working correctly. So if I hit reset, again, I've set text of the reset instead of result. I'll change it to result. I'll try to paste some text. Again, I'll try to make some changes. I'll hit reset, and I see everything has been reset to the initial values. So that's it. That's all for this video. I know this might be a little bit different of all the other videos, but I really recommend you do something for fun. It was really fun for me. I hope you've already enjoyed this video also. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask me in the comments section. Also, I'd be glad to hear recommendations from you, and just don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next videos.